Once again, this is a author who we have the pleasure to read. Well, I keep saying this wrong. This is gonna be the first SCP that we get to read from their works. Because again, we don't know if this is the actual first one that they wrote, but it's gonna be the first time we get to read from them. Called Chameleonscaper. Chameleonscaper, okay. Nice and short, it seems. With a little extension at the end. Okay, object class safe. Special containment procedures. SCP-2186 is to be kept in a 0.9 times 0.3 times 0.3 meter screened enclosure. Look at that little chameleon, by the way. It looks like it's having. It gives off sass. It's giving me sass. Screened enclosure suitable for non-anomalous specimens of Chameleonamaquensis. Specific procedures for habitat care and maintenance are detailed in Document A. Interaction with SCP-2186 is to be kept at a minimum in order to prevent unnecessary stress that might trigger SCP-2186 anomalous properties. Feeding, habitat maintenance, and medical examinations are the only times at which interaction is permissible. SCP-2186 is not to be removed from containment except in cases of medical emergency. And here we have the picture that says SCP-2186 during testing. Note the testing area beginning to adopt a similar pattern and texture to SCP-2186 scales. Oh, so it's basically instead of it adopting to its surroundings, to its surroundings, but now the surroundings adapt to. This chameleon is basically Zebra from Toriko. I don't have to get used to the desert. The desert may get used to me. Description: SCP-2186 is an adult female Namaqua chameleon. Chameleonamaquensis. Physically, it differs from non-anomalous representatives of its species only by its lack of chromatophores, rendering it unable to change its color in response to external stimuli. SCP-2186 anomalous properties become apparent when SCP-2186 is threatened, provoked, or otherwise made uncomfortable. All surfaces and objects within a 50-meter radius of SCP-2186 begin to gradually take on the color and texture of SCP-2186's skin. After approximately 2 minutes of exposure, the exterior surface of affected objects become identical to SCP-2186's skin, a state henceforth referred to as a Stage 1 transformation. If SCP-2186 agitation is maintained, the interiors of affected objects begin to gradually transform into biological matter identical to that of SCP-2186. Full transformation, a state henceforth referred to as a Stage 2 transformation, occurs after approximately 5 minutes. Stage 1 transformation gradually reverses if SCP-2186 returns to a calm state or is removed from the vicinity of affected objects, but Stage 2 transformation is seemingly permanent. See test log for further details. Discovery: SCP-2186 was recovered from the home of a Mr. E. S. The SCP Foundation was notified to. I will try again, by the way, if this fucking. I also wonder if the. Yeah, it still doesn't work. The SCP Foundation was notified to SCP-2186 presence by Mr. S himself, who had made several panic calls to local and national law enforcement agencies detailing SCP-2186 anomalous behavior. Foundation field agents who entered Mr. S property observed that a large area of the house had undergone Stage 2 transformation. SCP-2186 itself was located in its vivarium, exhibiting clear signs of vitamin deficiency, malnutrition, and stress. SCP-2186 was seized by the Foundation and all affected objects were removed from the site and catalogued. Based on observation of SCP-2186 living area at its discovery site, as well as testimony given by Mr. S. during questioning, SCP-2186 had been allowed to develop a state of extreme agitation due to its inadequately maintained environment, poor diet, and general state of neglect. However, Mr. S. claimed to have followed an online guide to Chameleonamaquensis care to be to the best of his ability and denied that SCP-286 was in ill health upon its containment by the Foundation. He also claimed to have ordered SCP-286 from a well-known and respectable online pet retailer specializing in exotic reptiles. So you just were lazy, and you're gonna be all like, "No, I took care of it. Yeah. Clearly, I did my best. I absolutely did my best. Like, I don't know what's wrong with it." Mr. S. Blank was retained for observation and study. SCP-2186 underwent medical examination upon containment and is currently in good health. Investigation into the online pet retail used by Mr. S. Blank have thus far unearthed nothing of note, and a guide the subject claims to have used has not yet been found. Test/study log with a whole bunch of things. Okay. Test log: effects of SCP-2186 induced transformation. Conductor: Dr. Wicks. Test object: NBA regulation basketball. Stage of transformation 1. Effect: the ball surface took on the color and texture of SCP-2186 skin. Analysis revealed that the molecular structure of the ball had not changed. The effect reverted after approximately 15 minutes. Cavendish banana. Stage of transformation 1. Effect: identical to previous test. However, peeling the banana revealed a non-anomalous interior. The effect reverted after approximately 15 minutes. So the banana inside was still banana. Just the outside looked different. Note: now we know that the organic and inorganic matter is affected in the same way. I'm hoping to keep these tests to a minimum. I don't relish frightening this animal unnecessarily. Yeah. Norway rat. Rattus novicus. Stage of transformation 1. The specimen experienced complete and rapid hair loss as his skin took on the color and texture of SCP-2186. As the effects reverted, the specimen hair did not grow back. Living creatures seem to be affected less predictably. And then Norway rat, different specimens than previous. Now we have stage of transformation number 2. So it's definitely a lot more agitated, or it just was staying in longer. The specimen's skin took on the color and texture of SCP-2186. In addition, its tail shrank and coiled into a shape reminiscent of a chameleon, and its eyes increased in size and developed the ability to move independently. DNA analysis revealed that the specimen had become genetically divergent from R. novicus, but no exact genetic match could be determined. Prolonged exposure to the effects of SCP-2186 seemed to make living creatures more chameleon-like. I don't believe that this is an intentional method of reproduction on SCP-2186's part, as it only occurs when 2186 feels threatened. Test subject: non-anomalous male Jackson chameleon. Tyroceros jacksoni. Now we have stage of transformation number 2 again. No physical change was observed in the specimen. However, DNA analysis revealed that it had become more genetically identical to SCP-2186. Note: you can't get much more chameleon-like than a chameleon, it seems. Addendum: following its encounter with SCP-2186, the specimen of T. jacksoni involved in testing lost the ability to reproduce with female individuals of its own species. Attempts to breed the specimen with female individuals of C. namaquensis resulted in the production of eggs, which hatched into non-anomalous specimens of C. namaquensis, none of which were genetically identical to SCP-2186. Dr. Wicks maintains that SCP-2186 transfiguring effects are not an intentional method of reproduction. Test object: cell phone. Stage of transformation 2. Cell phone, okay, interesting. Effects: the cell phone internal circuitry have been replaced with a partial nervous system, fed through an undifferentiated mass of muscle, supported by a quadrilateral framework of bone struts. The exterior was covered with skin identical to SCP-2186. The skin on the cell phone's front, the foremost side of the screen, possesses the ability to change color in response to external stimuli such as temperature and physical pressure. DNA analysis produced a 100% match with SCP-2186. Note: technological devices affected by SCP-2186 appear to retain some rudimentary function. Further testing is necessary in this area. Test subject: 9mm handgun. Stage of transformation 2. Or the trigger and internal firing mechanism of the gun become fused into a single piece of bone during the transformation process, rendering the weapon impossible to fire. The exterior was covered with skin identical to SCP-2186. DNA analysis produced a 100% match with SCP-2186. Note: weaponry gains no additional functionality from SCP-2186 transformative effects. In fact, it seems to lose effectiveness. I think we established that SCP-2186 has no practical applications and that it poses no significant threat. However, Stage 2 transformation does seem to have the capacity for greater complexity than I first assumed. I'm authorizing a more in-depth study of Stage 2 transformations. No more testing involving SCP-2186 itself will be needed. We have plenty of pre-existing samples. Okay, then we have an easy chair recovered from the Discovery site. Stage of transformation number 2. The components of the chair were replaced with roughly corresponding organic components. The cushion stuffing with muscle tissue, the internal springs with sinews, the frame with bone, etc. The chair was entirely covered with skin identical to that of SCP-2186. DNA analysis produced a 100% match with SCP-2186. Addendum: despite lacking any organs required for traditional animal survival, the chair did not decay prior to dissection for study. When cut, the chair produced blood but showed no traditional symptoms of pain. After dissection, decay proceeded as normal. Study object. I'm getting a bit tired, but it's fine. It's fine. Not tired enough to like not be able to read, but like definitely feeling it. 20 gallon vivarium recovered from Discovery site. Stage of transformation 2 effects: the vivarium glass have been replaced with a 0.5 centimeter. I'm probably going to turn off my aircon after this read. A 0.5 centimeter thick layer of muscle tissue covered with skin identical to SCP-2186 on both the interior and exterior of the vivarium. All plant life, substrate, and terrain contained within the vivarium has been replaced with identical muscle tissue and skin. DNA analysis produced a 100% match with SCP-2186. Addendum: the vivarium and the objects contained within it appear to have fused together during the transformation process. No separation between the vivarium and the object within could be detected even upon dissection. Study object: Mr. S. Blank recovered from the Discovery site. Stage of transformation 2. Effects: physical. Mr. S. Blank is covered in skin matching the color and texture of SCP-2186 and lacks any hair on his head or body. Subject's eyes and mouth have increased greatly in size, while the nose, ears, and lips are almost entirely reduced. On both Mr. S. Blank's hand, the thumb, index, and middle fingers have fused into a large flipper-like structures tipped with singular keratinous nails, as have the ring and little fingers. The toes of Mr. S. Blank's feet are similarly affected. A miniature vestigial tail protrudes visibly from Mr. S. Blank's coccyx. Mr. S. Blank lacks teeth and has lost the ability to digest plant matter. DNA analysis revealed that Mr. S. Blank is genetically divergent from Homo sapiens, but no exact genetic match can be determined. Effects: psychological. Mr. S. Blank's emotional capacity seems to have been reduced by Stage 2 transformation. He is capable of reacting negatively to upsetting or stressful circumstances, but appears to have lost the capacity to react positively to pleasant circumstances. Note: SCP-2186 former owner is an interesting case. I wonder if his reduced emotional capacity is simply a result of his brain becoming more chameleon-like, or a defense mechanism put into place by SCP-2186 to prevent him from potentially inflicting aggression upon it. Until I can justify inflicting such a state on additional human subjects, the question will have to remain unanswered. So you did. I was about to ask, like, was he like? Did you just force a random dude that you could have just amnesticized and send him away? Become a test subject? That's kind of fucked. And then Mr. S. Blank remains in confinement for observational purposes. He is currently under medical treatment for an upper respiratory infection caused by a low level of humidity in his confinement chamber. Mr. S. Blank confinement conditions are to be updated based on the conditions described in document A. That's Foundation. Pardon me, that's pretty fucked. Why would you just... Why didn't you just give him, you know, amnestics and then send him away? Why did you do that? What the fuck's your what's your damage, Foundation? Oh, okay.